something that's called a quest. And what that means is you get something like, $65 for free by completing, well, for free meaning you have to actually do something. By completing 45 trips, you get about 4 days. So previously I did that, and what happened was it was kind of interesting. You no longer sort of go around chasing the money or chasing the time, looking how much time you spent. It was almost like you're just looking at this quest, trying to get these trips done. Then you check the money, and it's like, oh, it's not too bad because time flies, when you're having fun. No, this is not a shill for Uber Eats. I'm just pointing out that one day, just one day, I might be able to replace this income here. So one day I thought that was okay, $175 Australian, which is not much US, mind you. But if the free promotion came in, so after the 4 days, I was then able to purchase some of my personal favorite cryptocurrency, which is actually Pulse Chain first, and then on top of that, off the back of that, purchase some Hex. Now I'm keeping a running track of how much I'm doing. Mind you, it's very small, so these amounts aren't going to be completely life-changing at the moment, but I guess the goal is to do this for about 52 weeks straight, and see what the price is of Hex at the end of that 52-week period, at which time maybe I can either continue creating staking ladders, or maybe even create maybe an LP position over on PulseX. Now, that would then allow me to get some, INC, and we'll have seen how INC has been performing relative to the rest of crypto. Now, it's not, it's not going to get a ETF anytime soon, unlike Bitcoin. Ethereum ETF, I'll put loosely in quotes, coming soon, subject to various approvals or things like that. But if you want some decent yield, maybe go have a look at some PulseX yield farms, but you'd have to study up on impermanent loss and things like that, because you might wait it out, and in the meantime you don't know, maybe the ink dumps, maybe it pumps. That's why personally I will be taking the maybe a set amount, about $50, maybe 100, maybe I'll bump it up to 100, I don't know, and then create rolling stakes, and then purchase Pulse first, then buy Hex, then create some rolling stakes. Now, maybe I'm not doing this for the next 15 years, I don't know, maybe. That's an inside joke for Hex kids, but I guess another goal would be to figure out what it is I want to do with the Hex. So after 52 weeks, what's going to happen? Am I just going to purely dump it all and just murder the price of Hex? So it's not going to murder the price, but imagine if it was larger numbers. Well, I'm starting to think maybe, just maybe, I could swap it out for something that won't murder the price of the things I like. So if I swapped between, say, Pulse, PulseX, or even INC, it's less likely to destroy the price of Pulse, as opposed to, say, selling the Hex for a stable and then exiting the system via some bridges and then through a centralized exchange. But time will tell, and this is just basically, a hobby at this point in time, which I hope turns into something which allows me some freedom to be able, to get maybe if I could replace this amount per day, maybe I could get something like that per week, maybe per day, if I create ladders, and or if I create some LP positions. Now, if I'm able to do that with a very small stack, maybe it might be of interest to some other people. Maybe they want to copy along, I don't know, maybe not. Who wants to drive around and do nothing? It's up to you. But imagine, I guess the point also is, imagine if you were earning a whole lot more money than this, because this is like maybe minimum wage here in Australia, maybe under, well, not that amount per day, but at the end of 7 days. So I could imagine there's a lot of economic energy out there if people want to take out a second job, a third job, to be able to purchase something that they like. If not, that's fine. I just don't think the world treats people very well, especially individuals who have less financial energy, because no one's going to come and save you except for yourself. And the current state of things, it might be a good time to, maybe it's a good time to buy some things, whether that be crypto, I'm not sure. You're having a look at like something like Bitcoin, Ethereum. It's like, which one's going to perform better? Bitcoin's, maybe it's got some legs in it. Ethereum, maybe it's got some legs in it with if there's an ETF coming, like, so more in the short term. But things, I guess, like Pulse Chain, PulseX, INC, and Hex, maybe they can perform larger numbers than, things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Although, Bitcoin and Ethereum are more well known across the crypto sphere. But personally, I thought, well, I'll choose Pulse as an entry point. Then I can swap between those two and Hex, and then Hex gives you the ability to create these, I guess, miners or staking ladders. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out, because, yeah, as I do this, I'll document it and we'll see how it all goes. The other day I was able to do this and I bought in, and basically the last couple of weeks, well, not for 2 weeks, the amount of Hex I'm getting is a little bit more. Price was dropping, price was dipping. I purchased and then I went back up. So that was a kind of, a good thing. Whether or not I make a trading variant of this as well, so do the same thing, but then instead of, stake, do the trades, I'm not so sure. Personally, I like the stability of Hex and creating the miners to know that, well, as long as you actually mint your Hex at the end, because you might forget or it might not be profitable to do so, in which case you burnt it anyway. So it's up to you to run your code. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully when these come out, I have this rolling ladder of delayed gratification, and hopefully it's equal to or greater than these amounts I'm currently pulling from, a gig economy work now. That is about it. So I'm hoping that this might help someone if you're interested in, well, learning about cryptocurrency further, not to take any advice of any sort, because seriously, do you want to be listening to a dude who's doing food delivery and then buying cryptocurrency in hopes that he can, what's it called? Save his economic energy, save his life? I don't know. Maybe it already did, I don't know. Depends how you want to live. When you could work a 9 to 5 and get better pay, the perks and everything like that, but then you're kind of subject to the managers, the bosses. No, you're not as flexible. Maybe you want to have kids, maybe you have kids, maybe it's some flexible hours. Maybe it's just like some top-up income, Maybe you don't want to just collect a paycheck from the government, and until you hit, like, maybe pension age. Maybe you actually want to do something with your life, as opposed to just sitting around doing nothing and murdering the price of things. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting experiment. I'm gonna, put up at least 52 weeks of doing this and see how I go. And at the end of it, will I have my Lambo? I'm not so sure. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But currently, at the end of the 52 weeks, it'll be what? March 2025. That's almost 2026. And so I want to see how crypto cycles are going then. If there's a delayed bull market run. I read somewhere that maybe, just maybe, there's going to be the bull market might extend out to 2025, and then I wonder what the 2026 will look like, especially with Ethereum gas fees and things like that. And then 2027, you'd be looking at maybe Ethereum will look at their shit by then in terms of L1 gas fees, and if anything happens there, Pulse Chain gets everything, and maybe some of the EHEX stakes aren't completely burnt and gone. That is about it. Yeah, so I hope you all are going to enjoy this journey as much as I, because everyone likes money, yeah? And so this is free money. All right. Free speech.